Luis Montoya, DART's Chief Planning Officer, here today to talk to you about some changes that we're proposing in Urbandale. This is part of our transit optimization study, which is our long-term vision that we are in the middle of creating for DART services looking into the future. And this is a pilot project that we're proposing to try some innovative approaches to delivering mobility for our region in the hopes that we can improve access and make it easier to get around while at the same time making our service as efficient as it can be. So for those who have not seen it, our website has details on what I'm going to be going over, and that's at ridedart.com/Urbandale. And that is a website that we set up specifically for this project, so you can see a map of the proposal and some of the details that I will be going over. Feel free to hit me up with some questions in the chat box, and then we also have a comment form on that website that I listed for any comments and questions that you have. So, Route 74 currently operates as more or less a circulator in Northwest Urbandale that takes customers from Valley West Mall up Northwest 100th and then circulates around up off of Meredith. It's mostly used by folks getting to work up in that area, and we want to make sure that we continue to provide that vital service. And so what we're proposing to do is, since that route has relatively low ridership, we realize that it could actually be more efficient and beneficial to customers, we think, and this is what we want to hear more about from you all, to use our Flex Connect model, which we first launched also in Urbandale in an area a little bit to the east of this area, to partner with Uber and our local taxi company to provide the mobility service. So instead of having a bus operate on a fixed schedule on a fixed route, that we would provide for Uber or taxi to be able to provide the service within a zone to get people to DART and to transfer at either Valley West Mall or, as we're proposing for this service area, also at Urbandale City Hall. And so the idea being that by having a zone rather than just a fixed route, that people have access to more destinations, and because we're only paying for the individual Uber and cab trips, that we would be more resource efficient than having a bus and a driver circulate on the route when in fact we have a few people driving. And so this is a model that has been relatively successful for us in the first Flex Connect pilot. We found that people can actually travel at different times of the day and to different destinations than the bus previously served. So once again, I invite you to go to the website at ridedart.com/Urbandale, where you can view the map of the area that I'm talking about and a little bit more details. I'm not seeing any questions come in just yet, but I'll provide a little bit more details about the service. So the way it works is customers can download a voucher on their Uber app, and what that voucher does is it makes it so that as long as you're requesting a trip that qualifies for the program, it's in a certain zone, it's at a certain time of the day, it is either to or from one of those two designated DART transfer points that I mentioned, then that trip is automatically, because of the voucher, it's automatically paid for by DART. If somehow the trip doesn't meet those qualifying criteria, it won't, and it'll show you that. So that's the primary way for accessing trips under this proposed service. But also, of course, we have a call-in feature, so that if you call into DART customer service, then the DART customer service representative can also book that trip for you. And that trip can be booked ahead of time, or it can be booked just as you need it. And typically we're seeing wait times of about 10 to 15 minutes for Uber, and a little bit longer for Yellow Cab, as that's dispatched only over the telephone, not over mobile. For those customers who require a wheelchair lift, we know that Uber and Yellow Cab don't have that feature, and so customers would call into customer service, and we would dispatch a DART vehicle to be able to come and provide the service. And so the goal is that, of course, we will continue to be accessible, but also that we have options for people, whether they would choose to use Uber to get to and from the DART bus stop, or Yellow Cab, or even a DART vehicle if they need it. So right now we are planning to have the service available from 5:30 in the morning till 6:30 in the evening. That is a pretty big expansion beyond the current service of the Route 74, and the reason is that because we're only paying for the individual trips, that we can offer it at more times of the day, and so we see that as a potential benefit from customers. That is something that we would like to hear more though from customers who use it, whether that's of value to them. Our hope is that the current service model is that the bus is only available in the peak morning and the peak evening hours, and so if you rely on that service and you realize that you got to go home in the middle of the day, or maybe your shift times just don't align with those bus route times, that this would actually be improvement for those customers by having the flexibility to travel between 5:30 in the morning and 6:30 in the evening. We also think that this is an improvement to service more destinations. If you look at the map of the proposed service area boundaries, you'll see that we're going actually even north of 8035, and we understand that there's more businesses going in up there, more jobs, and so we want to make sure that we are expanding DART access, or attempting to expand DART access for those who may work up there. The boundaries for this program are still definitely under consideration, so that would be something that we would really like to hear feedback on. We are mostly seeing this as a program for access to jobs, and so we do try to limit the space around the mostly commercial areas, although we're open to feedback about if there's nearby residential areas that make sense to be included as well. Of course, we understand that commutes happen in all directions. It's just that at some point we do have to put boundaries on the service, and so since most of the people today use it to get to work, transferring at Valley West Mall, then that is definitely the use that we want to make sure that we are still providing. The other thing we'd like to hear about is what your thoughts are on the transfer points that we've identified. We think that Valley West Mall is a good opportunity for a transfer point because of Route 3, 52, and 72 that all come in there as transfer opportunities. But we also identified Route 93 as a good transfer opportunity. That would be a shorter trip for folks in the area to be able to transfer to get to DART. But we also understand that service is limited to peak hours only, and service that goes directly into Des Moines. So you'll see if you're able to log into our website at ridedart.com/Urbandale, there's a form at the bottom. I understand many will be viewing this as it's recorded, and so you can feel free to leave comments on Facebook, or if you go to that website, there is a form at the bottom where we ask some questions to try to get some more detailed information from you, and that will help us to better design the service to meet the needs of customers and members of the community. We have some information available on board our buses to make sure that we get this information to our customers and allow them to give us their feedback. And we'll also be riding the buses to try to talk to folks. Tomorrow night we're going to be holding another virtual session, trying it over a different platform rather than Facebook, just to try to give people different opportunities. And that one, maybe it'll be an easier way for people to interact live. So information on that is also on our website. Right now we're envisioning this project to be implemented in the summer of 2021. There's some steps that we have to go through. The first is this public outreach, and then refining the proposal to reflect the feedback that we heard. Ultimately, the program would have to be approved by the DART Commission, and that would happen a number of months from now, and it would be implemented as part of our regularly scheduled service changes. Right now we're identifying June as the likely implementation timeline, although that could change. So for those who are tuning in late, this was just an overview of some proposed changes that we have for the area currently served by Route 74 in Urbandale. The idea is that by partnering with Uber and Yellow Cab, that we can improve, we think we can, and we want to hear your feedback, we can improve mobility by offering a larger span of service, so more service throughout the day, and access to more locations, because it's an on-demand service that can take you from your door to the bus stop, or vice versa, rather than just to locations along the given bus route. And so we have information on our website about this proposal. That's at ridedart.com/Urbandale. And if you scroll through, there'll be a map of the proposed service area and some questions in there, because we do want to hear from you. Did we get the service area right? Are the times of day useful? Are the transfer points useful? What bus routes do you want to be able to use the service to transfer to? This is a model that we used to, we think, some success, replacing Route 73 in 2019 with the same FlexConnect model. And we hope that we can also provide value to our customers in a similar way. These are the types of ideas that we'll be exploring more in the transit optimization study. We plan to be providing more opportunities for outreach about broader changes to our DART system later in 2021. And for now, we are still trying these pilot projects and studying and starting to talk to customers so that we can understand the opportunities and challenges of this particular program type. So with that, I think I will end it. My name, once again, is Luis Montoya. I'm the Chief Planning Officer at DART, and thank you for watching.